Today I'm going to tell you about a book called Echo by Pam Munoz Ryan. You may have read Esperanza Rising by her, maybe when you were in elementary school, a great story about a girl in California. This story is not set in California at all. Actually, it is a little bit set in California, come to think of it. It is a complex story of a whole number of different characters. It starts off with a boy who gets lost in the woods and nearly dies. And when he's right on the edge of death, he meets these three sisters who um, tell him that they'll save him, but they have to be promised that he'll save them as well. And he has to give a harmonica that he has to somebody else right at the moment where he or she needs it. And then this whole curse thing, it's like a magical thing, will be lifted and the girls will be saved. And so he agrees to do that. And that's a very short little snippet of the story. But then the book goes on to tell the story of three different characters, each of whom has or comes into possession of this harmonica that is maybe not magical, but maybe enchanted just a little bit. It's a fast read. The language is simple, but very lyrical and beautiful. And the stories are not on the surface very complex. But the thing that I love about this book is that it reminds me a little bit of Holes by Lewis Sacker, for the same reason. It's easy to read, but it is so layered and nuanced in terms of the way the stories fit together. And so really, while we have four different stories, the one that frames the beginning and the end of the story, and then also the story of each of three characters who have this harmonica, they all go together in a way that is fantastic. At the end of the book, I had chills, but one of the stories is about a boy who lives in Germany during World War II, when Hitler is putting all of the people who are not a perfect and pure German race into the concentration camps. And the reason the boy is potentially in danger of this is because he has a birthmark on part of his face. So it's a red kind of blotchy birthmark, definitely outside of what Hitler would consider pure. So he knows that he's potentially going to be a target. The next story is of the older brother and a pair of siblings who are in foster care and looking for a permanent home, and they're back in America shortly after, I guess it's during World War II. And then a little bit after. And the last story is of a girl who lives in California, and her family has moved around quite a bit. But they're working for a neighbor who is a Japanese American man and his family, and they are currently in an internment camp. And so the girl and her parents are working on their farm so that the farm stays open while the Japanese family's in the internment camp. The whole thing comes full circle at the end, and it's just fantastic. So it seems like an intimidating book, like it's kind of thick and, big, but it's wonderful, and it reads really quickly. The words are like it's not super intimidating text on the page. You'll be surprised how quickly you fly through it, and it'll leave you thinking at the end. So I definitely would recommend it.